Actually, I streamed the Ball Truth UK on Tom Gilbank's YouTube on Tuesday. And I forgot to change the stream code for the first few minutes of the show. It was on Tom's page.
So if you want to catch the first half of the show, just go to Tom Gilbank's YouTube channel and check it out, and then come back and join us.
That's the fucking best, man.
It's
guys, welcome
for like 10 seconds. So.
Yeah, guys, welcome to the broadcast. Let me just make sure that all the cameras are working. I think that's me and Joe. There's Joe. Okay, we are live. The phone number is 888-659-3727. You can give us a call if you have any questions or concerns about your hair loss. This is a broadcast of some kind that we've been doing. I say of some kind. Started on the radio. Started to do not even a podcast, just live streams on like Ustream. And you know, it's funny when I think about that. Joe Rogan and me were on Ustream at the same time when Joe's talking about shit from his couch, just stoned.
Yeah.
And when I would look at my broadcast compared to what he was putting out, I was like, this guy's so far behind. Isn't that funny? And sad at the same time.
Well, I was going to say more like sad.
Yeah. I was like, Jesus, this guy is a celebrity. He can't even get his shit together. Yeah.
Like, God, he's got TV shows and all this stuff, and I'm kicking his ass.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like looking at it. It's like, okay, Joe Rogan's on, and I'm on the front page. How is that even possible? No, we didn't compete at all. We weren't on at the same time.
No, of course.
But yeah, that's how long I've been doing this to some degree. And we've just kind of been keeping it at a kind of a relaxed stream.
No more.
Well, I mean, it's
more.
live. Hold on. How come I can't turn this down? You know, we're just keeping it as a live stream, not necessarily podcasting. Yes, I know that Joe's channel records it, so it's up there for posterity. But I haven't been putting the program out on any of the podcasting platforms. I did a few, and then I was just like, what a pain in the ass. But I think it's time that we start doing that a little bit more now, get back into it. There's a lot going on in the industry that I keep talking about every time I come on the air. I keep saying how much is going on in the industry, how fucked up things are, how things are going to change. We try to change things, and in order to make that change, we have to kind of massage certain people or try to massage certain people in the field. Mm-hmm. That doesn't work.
No.
Can't be nice to people. You just cannot be nice to people.
Well, the problem is that we've been appealing to what we thought was better sense or sensibilities about life, and what it turns out to be the truth and how to get people to work with you. To participate in trying to achieve the larger goal is don't even bother yourself with trying to explain what the larger goal is. Just heap praise and accolades on them, and then they'll get in line.
And they'll share your stuff and they'll get in line. Isn't that sad?
It's disgusting, actually.
It's not even about really getting in line. I don't even like to use that term, getting in line. I basically just kind of get on board with actually helping people.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing to me when I look at the physicians in this field and everyone, all these guys, and you know how it is. They get you on the phone, they complain about their competitors or they complain about what they're seeing online, and then they will tell me stuff behind the scenes and be like, but don't tell them I said that.
But don't let anyone know I was saying this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's one guy, it's interesting. So, you know, we are kind of, you know, working with new medical advisors for the IHRS and the American Hair Loss Association. And I may have said this on the show before, and this is important for you guys to understand, because there are some really good guys that are still pussies, but they're still good doctors. I'm speaking to this guy. I'm like, you know what? I think that this is the guy that I want as our new senior medical advisor. This is going to be very powerful for him if he decides to make, you know, to take this opportunity. And I think since he's, you know, quasi involved with some of the politics, it can be good for everybody. It could really help to soften things with the trade organizations. And, you know, so initially I talked to him about this concept, and he's totally into it. He's grateful. Mm-hmm. Then I explain that he has to understand the politics behind it. And I know that he's involved, or at least on the periphery of these politics and and the politicians. And I understand that he doesn't want to necessarily be kind of like not in the club anymore. But these club members and these politicians are going to talk to you about your heavy involvement with what we're doing, and they may try to talk you out of it. And as soon as I started to talk about that, he's like, well, can we some kind of maybe diffuse the opportunity, basically bringing on a few advisors so it's not just on me? I mean, I'd love to do it, and I know it's going to be great for my practice. And then again, it's just like, great for your practice. Yeah, I know it's going to be great for your practice, but that's not the point.
Not the point for you.
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
And again, really nice guy. I'm not even going to say who it is. Great surgeon. But it's just so disappointing. So we're bringing somebody else on board who's like, yeah, fuck everybody. What you guys are doing is incredible. You've been helping people for, decades, and I'm all in. Terrific. He may get some shit, but whatever. He doesn't care. But this other guy really deserved this position as far as the way that he treats patients, the time on tissue that he has, the fact that he's, getting up there. He's like my age, maybe a little older. He deserves this recognition, but he's afraid to take it because he just wants to be part of the group. He just wants to be a sheep. And that mentality, in my view, is kind of like complicit. I didn't want to use that term because that sounds mean if he's listening to this. But it's part of the problem. That's why the industry is so screwed up, and that's why so many people are being harmed. He's not directly harming people. He's great at what he does, and he's caring. But because of the apathy and the fear, people are being harmed.
Well, why do you think I made that video where I'm slapping these doctors that are coming up to me on the street? That's part of my frustration. Like, that's part of the reason why I'm making some of these videos, because I can't do it physically, like in real life.
Ow.
So I'm making these videos as a way to get my frustration out, but to show that, a lot of the things that these doctors say are just so silly. I just want to slap the shit out of them sometimes because they don't get the bigger picture about what it means to, why do they want to get the education out to the greater public about hair restoration? It's not to benefit their clinic directly. It's to benefit the patient so they wind up making better decisions for themselves, which, if the doctor's worth of shit, will eventually lead to your door to begin with. Like, it's all about filtering down. And, and of course there are a lot of other subjects that are kind of frustrating where you and I look at it, it's just like, it's obvious. And they're like, well, what does it mean for me? Ugh. I just...
It's like this guy who he flies to the IHRS, tells me that I essentially, and he may be listening, and I think he's a nice guy, but if he's listening, you got to hear this, Doc. Flies to the IHRS, tells me that my book essentially motivated him to write his own textbooks, to really get involved in the field in whatever capacity he's in.
To correct what you wrote.
Well, he didn't, but yeah, but that would be actually pretty standard, I would say, in this field. But no, he wrote some textbooks, and he said that, essentially, like, this was the Bible in a sense. Like, this is what motivated him. Mm-hmm. And then he shows me a copy of my book. That's all, the pages are already brown. It's so old. And that's then cool. He's talking about the organization and how proud he would be a part of it, to be a part of the organization and all this stuff, and kind of express how the dues work. And I mean, the dues are ridiculously cheap. It's like the half the cost of a fucking punch daily, like a few cups of coffee. It's insane. And he's like, it totally sounds good, but I'm gonna have to have my marketing people call me, and they're gonna want to discuss the ROI.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Click.
Wait a second. So what you're telling me is you just applied to an organization that's been around for 25 years. You've known me. I changed your world, essentially. You do what you do in the way that you do it because of the bald truth. And you want to know what the ROI is on $50 a day?
I'm honestly convinced that some of these doctors like using the word ROI, so it makes them sound like they're business savvy.
Yeah.
When they actually apply that word in situations where it makes them look like they're the opposite of business savvy.
So he told me that he goes, no, but we have a, this is a business and an organization, and my marketing people want to know. I know exactly, how important this is, and I want to be a part of it. And I said, I'm not speaking to your marketing people. I'm not here to make a sale. Did I pick up the phone to call you and say, hey, Doc, we'd love to, have you on board. This is what we can do for your practice? No.
Yeah, you came to me.
You applied to my group not once, but at least twice, maybe 3 times. And I decided to get back to you on the 3rd time. Partially because we get so many applications, it kind of gets lost. And if it's from overseas especially, common law won't send me stuff because I'm just like, I can't even deal with it. And a lot of these guys have checks in hand, so it's kind of dumb on my part.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, that's just another point of contention and frustration. And nothing wrong with this guy. I think he's a good doctor. I think he's trying to do the right thing. He now wants to be involved in more of the type of stuff that we do. That's terrific. But even to ask that question, I'm just like, holy shit. It's like, you've been in the field for 20 some odd years and you're still asking me that question? You don't know what we do? Sorry.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah, but if it was all about the Benjamins, he wouldn't even ask me that. It'd be like, thank you for letting me be a part of this. I mean, that's how, I'm saying that's how short-sighted these people are. I don't even understand it.
Again, it goes back to why I made that one video, and with my reference of why some doctors like to use the word ROI when they actually don't know what they're talking about. Like it's such a simple concept that yet they can't understand the greater impact that it makes when they utilize that terminology. It doesn't apply actually because they can't comprehend the final outcome of what that means. But what you're talking about, and this is for new people that might be joining us because of the massive effort I put into getting new eyeballs on the show today. This is the beauty of you watching the only. We don't like calling it a podcast because that's faceless, but broadcast where it's live and you can call in and ask questions direct of either this guy or myself. And we're the only ones in the world that do this, much less on a weekly basis. I have my own little sideshow, but that's inconsistent. But this is the only place.
We're the only fools that take the time to do this. And I'm looking at listen, here are the calls tonight.
Well, we just started, and it's the initial ramble when we open the segment. So, but I just I was thinking about this week, and we've talked about this in the past. But for F's sake, we are the only show where you can pick up a phone and call and talk to us in real time and get answers to your questions. No one else does that. Never have in the past, and no one's doing it now. So I was thinking about that, and I gained a new appreciation for what we do, and that's why I put so much effort into getting the word out. Last night, it was a little late. I could have done it earlier, but I hope that people watching this can help to spread the word about this, because we have a lot of apathetic viewers, which, I mean, of course, it's the way that most viewers are of most broadcasts. You don't call up your buddy and say, hey, check this out too often, but it'd be nice if there's more sharing of the content that I'm putting out and what the show puts out. I noticed a lot more engagement in the ad that I put out yesterday, or the announcement yesterday. But people were sharing it.
Why'd you make me fat and you a little bit more lean? What is that?
Hey, that's just the AI, baby.
I'm going to put up an actual picture of myself, bitch.
You do it.
I'm crippled now, dude. I am losing muscle by the minute. It's ridiculous.
I lost my thought. What was I saying?
That old man move, man.
What the fuck was I saying?
You were saying you were talking about how you're putting an effort into this, and that's why you put out the post yesterday. And
I remember. The reason why people were sharing it is because the novelty of what I did with AI and created that fight scene, which I worked on all day yesterday to make that happen. But that's why people shared it. It's not because of the content. It's not because of what it's pointing to. It's because of the novelty of what I made, and I understand that. But it'd be nice if people were, had a little bit more understanding to just share the link regardless of what
stop
I put out.
asking. It's not going to happen.
I can't do that every week. It's too much work.
It is not going to happen. You need to stop asking. And I have to say, as I'm talking about this particular doctor, and again, I think he's a good doctor. And if people end up going to him eventually, or if he does decide to I haven't reached back out to this guy. If he does decide to apply again at some point, and we decide to work together, then it's only going to benefit patients, and it benefits the field. So I don't want him to think otherwise. That's not my concern. My concern is just the mentality. And I have to say, is this insulting if I say just the sheer stupidity of so many physicians in this field, that they just can't grasp the reality of what we do? So to ask them to share anything, that's ridiculous too. And so even to ask these are people that we're actually helping to really make an effort, you can't expect that. This is what you have to do if you really want that to happen. Just keep creating great content. That's it. Jump around in your pajamas, whatever you have to do. I will actually take off my shirt at some point, for real, besides showing my bald spot.
Well, that's the only way that I can get anyone to really share it. Share it is when I be really creative with some of the tools that are at my disposal that I've spent a year and a half trying to understand and learn. Finally, I can create stuff, and it's paying off, obviously, because I've had a lot more engagement than I've ever had, and people that have never shared my shit are sharing my shit. So that's nice. That's nice. But enough bitching about that. I mean, it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast, and I'm ready to move on and talk about, drumroll please, Clascoterone and the most recent results that have been released as of April 15th.
Go for it.
Yeah. So you guys that are following the hair loss medication space, that are tired of the limited options that have been available for the past 30 years, you've been watching this, Clascoterone by Cosmo Pharmaceuticals. So as of April 15th, they have released a positive 12-month phase 3 trial results of their 5% topical Clascoterone solution. I read from hairlosscure2020.com, the definitive resource for all things hair loss related as far as medications go. Cosmo Pharmaceuticals just announced positive 12-month phase 3 results in treating men with mild to moderate AGA. The key points from the study: patients who remained on Clascoterone treatment through month 12 of the study continued to gain hair. In contrast, patients who switched to the placebo from month 7 onwards experienced a reduction in prior gains, which is important because it shows it's still a treatment, not a cure, just like everything else that's out there. Patients who remained on Clascoterone for the full 12 months achieved a 2.39 times improvement in target area hair count versus patients who received Clascoterone for 6 months and then switched to a different vehicle from month 7 to month 12. The phase 3 trial was composed of SCALP 1 and SCALP 2 pivotal studies. It enrolled 1,465 subjects, that's 1,465 across 51 centers in the United States and Europe. This made it the largest phase 3 clinical program ever conducted for topical male AGA treatment. Patients reported outcomes. There were also positive subjects treated with Clascoterone for 12 months reported a plus 24.5% relative improvement in treatment satisfaction versus vehicle groups. It's a very subjective point right there. Obviously, they want to push out all the positive that they can, regardless of how flimsy it may be. I consider that one to be a flimsy one. Cosmo plans to file for a new drug application, NDA, with the US FDA in early 2027. They'll also file a marketing authorization, MAA, in Europe. This development also bodes favorably for China-based Kintor Pharma's androgen receptor antagonist KX826, also known as pyrolutamide, is currently in phase 3 trials. A number of other such products are currently in trials or have been released as weaker cosmeceuticals. And that's the wrap. And interesting.
It is interesting. The problem that I have is, when these companies introduce these products initially as cosmeceuticals and whatever formulation it is comparatively to what they're trying to get approved, I just always look at it with a jaundiced eye. I'm not saying that it's not going to be a benefit to people. I'm not saying that these studies aren't, reasonably, I'm not going to say accurate, but, there's definitely some potential positives here. But it is always something that you have to kind of look at with a slight jaundiced eye if something comes out as a cosmeceutical first. In most cases, that's where it stays.
And there's your daily dose of pessimism, folks. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, I am in a fucking foul mood today. I'm not. That's not that bad. I am dealing with some injuries for the last 5 weeks, which just pisses me off. But that's why everything's kind of like, amplified when I speak to patients. Here's another. I just saw a kid. He sent me his images. I don't usually accept this stuff on Instagram, so don't send me your images. But he was in a really bad place. And the surgery was done here in California, which is insane to me. But it's the same stuff. Now the model that's being used overseas is being used right here in the beautiful state, which is actually destroyed, of California and everywhere else in the United States. And he went in, $2 a graft.
Oh, that place. Okay.
It's not that place. That place is
No?
gone. Yeah, it's another place. It's a plastic surgeon's office. Or I should say a facial plastic surgeon's office. Didn't do a plastic surgery residency. There's a difference. Not saying there's anything wrong with being a facial plastic and reconstructive surgeon, but usually they're ENTs. They do an ENT residency, and that's what they're board certified in. And then they get a certification from the American Board of Facial Plastic and is that it? The Board of Facial Plastic and Reconstructive Surgeons.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Anyway, the kid's screwed. That's all I'm going to say. It is the fact that this is happening here in the United States, it's appalling. And if I were to bring this information to one of the doctors out there, the great surgeons out there, they would be like, man, that's terrible, man. But keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing.
Keep fighting the good fight.
While we put our heads in the sand and try to make our income and stay out of the fray and allow these kids to be destroyed. Yeah,
I mean, obviously, Spencer, that is terrible work. Like, I think his license should be pulled. You just didn't hear it from me.
Yeah, don't tell. Yeah. And what's interesting is this guy is pretty well known, at least his practice is pretty well known here in Los Angeles, but usually doing hair transplant surgery as an aside, as part of the menu.
By the way, Spencer, you might want to take off the UK number off the overlay.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Maybe that's... Sorry, should I change my accent here, Governor? Yeah, it's really bad. Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Hey, he's almost 61, people.
Yeah, I mean, you sound like Dick Van Dyke with that accent. Yeah, so I mean, that kind of just that gets me upset. I've been doing this for so long, and this is still happening. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And all the trade organizations have their campaigns, and everyone's saying this. And then you have the greatest thing is when Dave Anderson did that podcast with that guy in the UK, that doctor in the UK with the crazy glasses and the socks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and when Dave Anderson is asking him very important questions, they're a little pointed, and they should be when this guy puts himself in the position that he is as one of the main guys over at the BAHRS, which I think is the British Association of Hair Restoration Surgery. Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
And they create all these standards that are just on paper. Yeah, this is what we believe, this, and this, but the vast majority of our membership, they're delegating. surgery, but we're against delegation.
By the way, doesn't the leadership of BAHRS, doesn't it rotate amongst like a small group of guys, like whoever's president now was president like 5 years ago? They just rotate among themselves.
I don't want to get into the minutia of it because I don't want these guys to come at me and say, "Oh, you're
I'm the one that
bashing."
asked. I'm the one that brought it up. They won't like come after me. Like,
Oh, I mean, I
I'm
don't
just
give
curious.
a shit. I'm just saying, I'm trying to be nice here to some degree, but this was such a foolish. When I watch this interview, I'm like, and that is why this is happening. But yeah, it's a very tight knit, interesting political, in quotes, society. They will pressure.
They call us the mafia.
Yeah, they will. They will contact certain doctors in the field and provide some basically provide them with some, interesting language to kind of pressure them not to get involved with certain things and not to put themselves out there in a certain way. And
Just like a mafia would do.
yeah, and go over their websites. And first of all, this organization has zero teeth. It is nothing more, in my view, than just a typical trade organization. And they try to put it out there as though this is an actual medical society. Guys, you can call me up, correct me if I'm wrong. But Dave's asking questions like, well, what about, delegating to non-physicians? Well, that's frowned upon. It's actually illegal. And there's one, this, or it's not even illegal.
I don't even think it's illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah.
But, so they have different tiers of membership. And I guess those
Like
tiers.
but if it was actually illegal, that very same guy would be on the phone half a day, every day, reporting every clinic out there to the authorities. If it was illegal.
But if you took a look at their membership, they have some of the darkest guys in the industry at some tier of membership. Now, they have different tiers to try to somehow put themselves at our arm's length, but they certainly want everybody's money.
Members that comply and those that we're working on them.
Yeah, they're good enough.
We've seen worse.
Yeah.
Man, we've seen worse. Hi, we're the BAHRS.
Yeah.
We've seen worse.
We've seen worse.
Anyway, but the phone number is
It's fucking hilarious.
1-888-659-3727. Again, it's 1-888-659-3727. Toll free
And
in
I
North
know I'm
America.
rambling, and that was kind of a disjointed story. When I'm talking about this stuff, I try to be as diplomatic as possible, but sometimes I really can't be, but then I stop myself short. I'm like, yeah, I really shouldn't say this, or I really shouldn't say that. But when I'm watching this guy, in my view, spew this bullshit to Dave Anderson, I'm just like, Jesus, man, you are one of the, you're a huge part of this problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. You actually are part of an organization and represent an organization that essentially created this problem.
Yeah.
As far as their membership created this problem.
Yeah. 20 years ago, they were praising this kind of thing.
It is a effing joke.
Faux show.
But here's my award for attending a meeting.
That's right.
Look at me.
I still say that you should have taken that Italy award for outstanding medical contributions.
The Michelangelo award?
Or the Michelangelo award.
Yeah. Yeah, I was awarded
Dr. Kobren.
the Michelangelo Award from the Italian Society of Hair Transplant Surgery back in the day. They've changed their name since. And you still see a lot of the doctors in the field who display that award. I had to tell them that I wasn't a physician. It's amazing. Oh, and all the top doctor awards, apparently my peers in both plastic surgery and hair transplant surgery put me up for these awards.
Of course.
And all I would have to do is pay.
They recognize greatness.
I was recognized for these awards, and all I would have to do is pay a relatively small amount of money, and I would be awarded top doc prestige. I would have gotten a plaque, and I would be able to put that on my Instagram.
Otherwise known as a placard.
Yeah, placard. I'm not a doctor, but yes, should I have paid for this and taken all the rewards? I probably should have. It would have been fun. But back in the day, I wasn't doing social media when I was offered these things. I was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know. But this is what I find funny. When I see some doctors who are on in-flight magazines or whatever it is, I'm like, it's great to do it if you want to do it. So you're marketing yourself, and it's someone who happens to be flying on Delta or wherever they see you. But don't promote it on your social media, brother. I mean, people know what that is. I'm talking about everybody.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do. But the point being is that there are a number of people that do know what it is, and it's being promoted by whomever's on the cover of whatever magazine as if it was some sort of earned recognition, as if they were chosen by literally a group of their peers, or even better, patient voted for their excellence in the field, when it couldn't be further from the truth. It's nothing remotely like that. So
I should do a post with me holding my Lifetime Achievement Award from FU Europe. And while do I believe I deserve a Lifetime Achievement Award? I do. I was only 53 at the time when it was awarded to me. But I know exactly why it was awarded to me. At the time, the physician who made that nomination, made that happen, was the director of, one of the directors of the organization at the time. And he was just trying to get on my good side. He just wanted to kiss my ass. He goes, I'm going to nominate you. I'm going to give you the first Lifetime Achievement Award for FU Europe. And I'm like,
that's
all right.
that's a pretty good level of ass kissing, I have to admit.
And I'm like, all right, here's what's even funnier. This is, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to admit this. Not that there's anything wrong with it. He's like, what would you like me to say in my presentation speech about you?
Yeah. He gave you editorial control.
I had complete editorial control about what he said on camera and in writing. Now, unlike other people, I kept it simple. I just kind of said, I basically didn't say that I was like some global leader or anything, but I just kept it. I basically said, I introduced FU hair transplant surgery to the world, essentially, which he knew, which he talked about before. So he put that in the talk. He was talking about FUT and how we kind of pushed the envelope as far as really having physicians change the infrastructure of their practice based on potential financial implications if they didn't, meaning that they would become irrelevant. He wrote about that and actually said that. He agreed about all this stuff. I just gave him a short bullet list and let him do his own thing. But it was all true. But this is the way these things work. So yes, could I go out there and promote the fact that I'm the first non-physician in this field to ever receive a Lifetime Achievement Award from any society? I can. But here's the facts. Even though I deserve it, it's still bullshit. Complete bullshit. It's a fucking joke. You think I would put that up? I mean, I have it in the green room here. And every time I pass by, I kind of snicker.
Well, when I start getting my accolades, I'm going to put that shit everywhere. No one is going to be unaware that Tillman has won this or has been featured here or whatever, just for the sheer humor of it. Because I'll be the last person that takes any of it seriously. But I'm going to have fun with it.
Well, I mean, but this particular thing is like it is now a real award from this society. Every year someone gets one, or maybe two people get one. And I was the first and the only non-physician to get one. So most
and they can
people
never take that away.
Yeah, but most people would be leveraging that every day, basically having that, I have it back here, like on some sort with my books, Mm-hmm. But I know it's all such bullshit, man. So I have to tell you guys that's just the reality of it. Yes, again, I'll repeat myself. I deserve it, and I wish it was presented to me just without the knowledge of this particular surgeon was in a position where he really needed to kiss my ass. So he thought this was going to kind of be his olive branch because we had some issues before.
He did.
Yeah. And I wish that wasn't the case. I wish the organization itself came together and just, as a group, sat down, drew straws or whatever, and I won that thing. But that wasn't the case. It was awarded to me because someone wanted to suck my D.
Hello.
What's happening in the chat? Maybe it's because I didn't put into the bald truth. Maybe that's why I'm not getting any calls.
Could be. But in case anyone hasn't realized, we put the real number up on the screen. It's 1-888-659-3727, toll free in North America. Give us a call. Of course, you can call worldwide if you have access to something that can call that number. And in the chat room, someone was asking me about what I thought about laser helmets. They shoot freaking laser beams.
I'm gonna be honest with you, as I always am, stupidly. We're taking one company pretty seriously about making them a trusted brand, and I am having now second thoughts, because if I do that, the implication is going to be that it's going to have significant value to those who use it. Where I think
my question is, does it use medical grade lasers?
Not only does it use medical grade lasers,
Industrial medical grade?
it massages your back simultaneously.
Well, fuck.
Yeah.
I'll take 2.
But I'm in a situation now where it's like, okay, there's so many caps that are being sold out there. These companies are applying for trusted brand status. There were 4 major players that I have walked away from. They all have checks in hand to provide a licensing fee. Not that it's incredibly significant by any means, but it would be helpful for sure. But as I look at everything and how when we talk about how they plan to market things, I'm kind of stepping back and saying, shit, man, I just don't know if I want to be involved.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that this technology doesn't have some reasonable applications.
Yeah, and I've said that as well. Like I even did a video about it, how I was wrong, because there is some, I can't even call it anecdotal. It's a little bit better than anecdotal. I've seen results with my own eyes.
It's still anecdotal.
Never correct me on air. Where I actually saw hairline improvements on a guy. His temples started to fill in just from using a laser cap, not a helmet. But it's not something that people can rely on. I think it's something to try if you already have yourself stabilized in an existing medical regimen, or if you have no medical regimen, try it, stick with it for a year, see what it does for you. It may do something. It may do something. It may set up the environment for even better results when you start adding some sort of modality that does work, that we know works, finasteride, oral minoxidil, something like that. It could seed the field, as it were, provide fertilizer to kickstart something else. Who knows? But it's definitely on the fringe of modalities that are known to work.
Well, here's how I feel about it also. I mean, even though this one company that I'm really taking a hard look at it's a little less expensive, there seems to be some more data coming in that is positive. It's still like, even if it's less expensive, it's $1,500 or whatever it's going to be. Yes, is $1,500 worth it when you're trying to save your hair? 100%. I would spend $5,000 or $10,000 on one of these things. No problem. Even if I had to go into debt, if we knew that it was going to have a real, meaningful result. I'm just not seeing that in general. It's very rare that I see that consistently. And the problem is most of the people who think they're getting meaningful results are also on other modalities. They're on medical therapy. So they're throwing the kitchen sink at it, and they're like, well, now I'm stuck. I bought this laser cap or whatever. I'm going to use it. You got guys like Brian Johnson, who's promoting the use of it. And, he's done really well with his hair, and he's not taking oral finasteride, but he's using topical, DHC blockers from what I'm, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he is. And I don't know if he's the most measured guy in the world. I don't think he actually accurately measured his response to low-level laser therapy because he's
He's the
not
most
there.
measured guy in the world up until like starting a few years ago. Before that, no one had heard of the guy. He was just the millionaire, the multimillionaire spending $2 million a year. That was the initial headline that got people's attention.
Yeah.
We started getting into the social discussion. Before that, we have no clue, and I'm convinced he's had surgery for his hair.
I have to disagree with that, but you are
You
an
disagree with?
expert.
I'm convinced of it.
You're an expert for sure. But
Yeah, his hair. It doesn't look like it's 100% natural, and combine that with the fact that he colors his hair, which is an absolute fact. There's no way he doesn't color
well,
his
if you
hair.
look at him more recently and you see he's combing his hair back, whoever did, if that's a hair transplant, whoever did his hairline has. I'm hoping he's an IHS member because it's unbelievable.
To be fair, I haven't looked at his hair seriously in months because I just don't pay attention to the guy. I see him; he pops up in my feed. I just keep scrolling because.
Well, then I could say that in my opinion, you're completely wrong, Joseph, and I disagree with your opinion. And how dare you try to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about?
Okay, just wait for my next video when you get your ass handed to you in the ring.
Dude, you already gave yourself a slightly more ripped body than me,
Slightly,
and I have no hair in my chest.
just
So what
slightly.
is that?
I thought that was accurate.
No, you gave me
know what?
hair in my chest. I
Oh,
don't
I
have
did?
any
Oh.
hair in my chest.
And what's funny is it didn't put enough on me to represent IRL, which is
Unbelievable. All right, let's take a phone call. We got one.
funny. Got it.
Hey, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from? Caller, what's up? These
Hello?
fucking people. I want to give you another
hear-
second to say hello. Yes, we could hear you. What's up?
I don't hear him on my end.
You're not going to hear him because he's not saying anything right now.
Oh, okay. Hello? Guess he's not there.
I'm just going to enjoy this moment. And basically, I think this is a metaphor for everything that happens in this fucking field. 888-659-3727. We'll keep doing it live. Fuck it,
Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't make a difference. There's people in the room who are listening to me rant. That's really all that matters.
Trumpy Bear Armageddon in the chat room goes, I'm open to a laser helmet in addition to what I'm already doing, but they're costly. They don't have to be costly. Amazon, baby. All day long. $200, $500. Pick your price. There's something there for you.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, guys, I just don't know. I mean, it is very possible that in the next few months you're going to see one of the devices carrying the American Hair Loss Association seal on it. Just be like, look, I've seen worse.
I've seen
You know?
worse. Something laser helmet brand.
Yeah, look,
American
it's good
Hair Loss
enough.
Association,
Yeah.
trusted brand.
Yeah.
We've seen worse.
We'll say like, yeah, it's good enough.
It's good enough. Yeah.
You know, at least it's not overly priced.
That's good. You don't even have the telephone number up to call from BK-WM1TG. It's right there on the screen.
How is it not up to call?
Yeah.
How
Do you see the screen?
How do you not see that huge 888-659-3727?
888-659-37. Oops. 27. There. It's right there. What's this strange with some sort of strange Timu? Hey, Graham. Graham's in the chat room.
What's up, Graham? Graham, did you get your hair transplant yet?
I don't know. I don't think he did. He would have told us. I know Adrian is in Thailand right now going through a study where they're studying the side effects of I think it's side effects of finasteride or some DHT.
I heard
inhibitor.
that, yeah.
And it's in Thailand. I'm like, brother, what better place to test that theory?
Dude, apparently there's a whole group of sexual refugees testing it out right now.
Yeah. Dante, it's on the screen, Joe. I know. That's what we were saying, Dante.
And there's nothing wrong
typed-
with that. There's nothing wrong. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm at a stage in my life where that sounds great. The only problem with like Asia or like Vietnam or just the humidity. That's all. I can't deal with that. But as far as like starting over as a senior citizen, I'm like I'm into it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I like the whole transactional aspect of things down there. It seems just very honest.
Well, look, everything you do is online, so you can take a laptop and be anywhere and still do your work.
Hang out here in Beverly Hills and you hang out with somebody, it's eventually transactional to some degree.
Life is.
It's like, oh, okay, there's the dinners that cost you $300-400 and this and that and the other thing, and then all of a sudden, wait a second, you're short on your car note? Sure, well, no problem. I'll take care of that for you.
On your car note.
You know?
Who talks like that?
I'm from New York.
On your car note.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's so 1963.
Yeah.
Graham says his surgery is in July. Okay. Right on. But yeah, he'll be keeping us updated on that for sure. In the meantime, folks, 1-888-659-3727 toll free in all of North America. Of course, you can call international as well if you have the means and the ability. Give us a call. We're here to talk to you. Like I've been screaming from the rooftops since yesterday on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We're the only call-in show for men worldwide in history ever. It's still going.
I have a question for you, and tell me if you think that this was inappropriate. I don't think that it is, because I think it's important that when physicians contact me, they have to kind of understand like what responsibility I hold when I have a decent following or when I interview with different doctors, whatever it is, or have them on the show. Very nice guy. I happen to like the guy, contacted me and asked me if I've ever seen a long hair or an unshaved hair transplant, no shave hair transplant. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen one, but what do you got? You got something for me? Let me see. So he sends me this image. It's great. Patient looks very happy. And he says, with a smile, but, he put it out there like, so when are you going to have me on the program to discuss no shave FUE or no shave hair transplant? And I'm like, look, brother, you got to apply to the IHRS and be accepted first. It's a process that's could take some time. And I said, you have to understand that it's even difficult for me to follow physicians on Instagram or any place else because that looks like an implied endorsement.
Yeah.
So I barely follow anybody. And and he was fine with it, gave me a heart. But do you think don't you think that that's kind of like what I have to do? Because I do know that I've had people on the air over the years who were not part of what we do. And all of a sudden, it's like people are asking me, I'll give you another example. And this is fine for me because I happen to think Tony Rooston is probably one of the best doctors out there in Brazil. But we essentially I was having a back and forth on my Instagram with Tony, and he was saying some complimentary things, and I was writing him, and so this guy who would go contact me through my lives when I was doing them on Instagram said that he decided to go to Tony Rooston. Is that how you pronounce the last name?
Yeah,
because
Rooston.
Of the conversation that I was having with him on Instagram.
Yeah.
In a comment section. So he called in. I don't even remember. That was on one of my lives. And I just said, look, he's really good at what he does. He's never applied to the IHRS, and we don't solicit doctors. But I think, given everything I know about his practice, what he's accomplished over the years, how long he's been in the field, how much time on tissue, and the results that I've seen, that you're going to be in good hands.
Well, yeah, and it was a good person to have a conversation with if someone was going to have surgery based on who you're having a conversation with. I learned this when I went to work for Dr. Rahal. I had patients showing up. I never met them, never talked to them, never had any interaction with them, never met them when they're at the clinic. And technicians were coming up to me saying, yeah, we have someone here. It's because of you. I'm like, really? What? who was it when I talked to him? They said that you didn't. They just came here because they know that you're here, and that was good enough for them. What? That doesn't even make any sense.
But imagine when I have all these doctors who are commenting on my stuff, and you'll notice that I just basically will thank somebody for a comment who's not part of what we do, and try not to engage too much, because I'm not trying to be rude, but I am noticing that just that engagement alone gets people, makes people think that because I have a relationship, because I'm being cordial, that
just because you're being friendly,
we're endorsing these physicians.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting phenomenon that I didn't even recognize. I mean, maybe I should have.
So to answer your question, no, I don't think it's unreasonable to say that, because of that exact issue.
Same with that your friend Bruno, Dr. Ferreira. I had him in here, if I recall, in 2018, and you and I have talked about him on the show. And the number of patients that he has performed surgery on because of this broadcast, to my knowledge, is at least 5.
Yeah.
No, I think it's more now. Somebody else contacted me through Facebook, not Instagram, just the other day. He's never applied to the organizations. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad move. He's good. He's a good doctor.
Yeah.
But that's how this works. So when someone asks to be on the broadcast or to do a live or whatever it is, I have to be really cautious.
It's definitely a responsibility when you have a platform, and a respected platform, and people see you interacting with these doctors. Yeah, of course it makes sense. I don't like it, because it's too easy for that to happen. It's almost like you have to put in any sort of interaction. I'm just talking to this guy. Don't take this,
Well, you can't
anything.
You can't have them in your follower list either.
Yeah,
I realize that.
yeah,
And that's terrible, because there's some nice guy. Look, I'm not out here soliciting doctors. If they don't want to apply to the IHS for whatever reason, that's their prerogative.
yeah.
Maybe some of these guys think it's going to be difficult for them to be a part of it. I understand that. They don't want to be rejected, or they just think that it's whatever. They're politicians. Yeah. They're concerned about what their peers are going to think, who are the grand poobahs in this field. Guys, hold on. I'll take your call in a sec. It doesn't mean I don't like them as people. So I almost feel bad. I don't want to seem aloof or standoffish or snobbish by any means if I don't follow them back. But I can't. I just can't. And if you notice, I barely follow any of the doctors who are part of what we do. Look, I can't help but follow Alan Bauman. This guy sends me birthday presents, for crying out
loud. I love Alan. I think Alan's awesome as a person.
Yeah, and he's done a great job in the field over the years, and he's been a fan of the Bald Truth and a friend of the Bald Truth. And he's a good person. But, there's no doubt when people go through my small follower list, they see these guys and they figure if I'm following them, they must have some credibility. That sounds obnoxious, but it's just the truth. Let's take a call. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Spencer, Joe, it's Rez.
Rez, what's happening, buddy?
Rez, hey, buddy.
Finally, somebody decides to call the fucking show.
I like the show, so I call. I like talking to you guys.
Well, we'd like you, Rez.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's going on, Rez?
Spencer, Joe, I was going to ask you, Spencer, you had said you'd had an injury from antibiotic use a while back. And that appears to be a pretty common issue with the antibiotics you were on.
Yes.
I was just wondering if you've because I started the treatment. Have you considered something called BPC 157?
I am thinking about it for sure, and I'm still not 100% convinced because there's really no human trials on it.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
I am considering it for sure. Like right now, I'm going through a real terrible phase with this tendinopathy. Like my shoulder went out just yesterday. I cannot train. You know, I could do some training. I could do some leg training. I could do some basic stuff just to keep me mentally okay and not completely lose my physique and, you know, slowly add more load to my tendons. But right now it's just been really bad. So I am considering maybe going down to Ways to Will in Austin or just trying to work with some legit people. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
They make
I've had some
they
issues that I'm
make a
concerned about that, you know, the thing about, you know, you're dealing
cancer.
with something that can actually, you know, if you are creating more growth factors or speeding up healing and growth of tissues, etc., that could potentially grow, at least theoretically, tumors. Who knows?
Right.
You know, so that's my
No,
concern.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard doctors speak for why it cannot cause cancer, and others that have said it's possible. So, yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
They make
Dante,
a
you're right. I
supplement.
was on Cipro 3 rounds actually for something ridiculous in
Yeah,
2012, and I definitely think that that probably caused me long-term problems.
that's
But it is what
very
it is.
real. Yeah. They make a blend that has something called TB 500
Yeah.
and then the GHKCU, all three of them in there, and it's called Glow. I'm just on the BPC 157 because I have something called avascular necrosis in my hips from the prednisone use that I was given. I don't know if you've heard of
Sure.
AVN or avascular
I
necrosis,
have. Yeah.
but apparently in animals trials and studies, this BPC 157 can create new bone growth where there's been dead growth to kind of shield the spongy areas of the bone that have died. So I've been on it for about 3 weeks. Overall, I have way less aches and pains, and I'm just recovering a lot quicker at
But
the
you're
gym.
getting your stuff from like a website in China, right?
I am.
Yeah.
I sent Joe some of the lab results from some of the products that they sell. Everything that I've looked at, it's 99.5 or 7% pure when they do the lab test results on the products, and everything they have is lab tested. So far at this point, you know, I haven't died using any of this stuff.
Now look, as long as you keep
So I
calling in
figured,
and telling me you're okay, that's great.
yeah,
And look, if I decided to do
yeah,
it, I would go down to Austin probably
the real stuff, yeah.
and try to do my best to get the real stuff, whatever the real stuff is. I mean, this guy from Ways to Well is kind of been involved with RFK to some degree. RFK just kind of put the brake on the issue that these compounding pharmacies were having offering peptides, which I think is good. There's a lot of people that are helped from these things. I'm seriously considering it, but here's the thing: I have such problems with physicians, especially when they're entering this space, the whole biohacking space, this whole stem cell peptide space. There's so much fucked up shit going on, so many people being harmed, so many people selling black market and gray market products, making all kinds of claims, that I have to look at everything with John Masai and really kind of weigh the risk benefit for myself. Right now,
Sure.
I'm not doing well. I'm just being completely honest. Do I think that I
Yeah.
could eventually recoup from this? I do. I have before, and I get back into training, but I can't train the way that I used to. But I'm also 61 years old. But I still don't think that if it wasn't for my Cipro use, that this would have happened to this degree. I may have had injuries.
No, there's
I may have had tendon issues, but I think that it just kind of weakened the entire matrix so that I hit a tipping point that I may not have hit at this point if it wasn't for that drug use.
No, I agree. I think the stuff destroys your tendons and ligaments, and that's It's just what it does. I mean, look what prednisone destroyed my bones. I mean, yeah, it's.
But again, Rez, it's
don't
always very. We always get the most uplifting calls from you, by the way.
Well, it ends on a good note because I'm giving you a solution for the problem.
Listen, I appreciate you taking the time to call in to try to help me, and I think you know me just by listening to the show for all these years that I try to be as thorough as possible. I will take the risk if I need to. Yeah. But the thing is, I'm going to go for what I think is the legit stuff, even if it costs me a lot of money and I have to go fly back and forth to Austin or whatever. I will do that. But it's interesting. There's this, I'm not going to mention his name, but this stem cell doctor that became pretty famous pretty quickly. And he's treated a lot of well-known people, the Kardashians and other, athletes, even some well-known influencers like Jordan Peterson. Somehow he's a relatively young guy. He finagled his way into this space. I'm not even going to go into his background, but his background has nothing to do with regenerative medicine. He essentially was giving spinal injections for a pain clinic for a long time. He only got out of medical school, I think, in 2015, but all of a sudden, because of his social media, he just became big. But he's opening up clinics in Dubai and Mexico and places like that. But apparently, there has been some issues with some of the patients that he has been treating, including some of the celebrities going into septic shock from his stem cell treatments.
True.
What's interesting about this guy, he's a young guy.
I hate hearing that shit.
Is that everyone's promoting stem cells for hair growth, different types of stem cells or exosomes. The guy, basically his hair is so thin at this point, I could see what he's thinking, and he's young. So if these treatments worked, I'm pretty sure that he's treating people for hair loss as well. I could be wrong. Why aren't things working for him, at least in the visible level?
Yeah.
It's like going to the bald hair
transplant
surgeon.
Into septic shock?
Well, the bald hair transplant surgeon is a little different, but this is a guy who's going through the initial throes of hair loss. He's relatively young, and I'm watching his progress online, and his hair's getting thinner and thinner. It's possible he has some sort of an illness that I'm unaware of, on a medication that we're unaware of, so I don't want to judge.
It could be that he's on the medication or the treatments, and it's just preventing it from his hair from falling out much faster.
Are you talking about Jeff?
Not Jeff.
No.
This is a doctor. Okay. Anyway, so he's treated some very well-known people two of whom who've gotten very ill. And there are some people out there that think it's directly related to his particular stem cell protocol. And they had severe immune responses. And two that we're aware of went into pretty unusual septic shock pretty soon after they had these treatments. So this is my concern about all of this stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Peptides seem a little bit safer. Even the gray market stuff seem a little bit safer. But what if all of a sudden, there's a new basal cell carcinoma that may not have occurred if I wasn't on this peptide,
Yeah.
There's a lot of what ifs, right?
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
So
for sure.
That's why
I get what you're saying.
And I'm not super paranoid. Obviously, I took finasteride before basically anyone did for hair loss.
Right.
And I jumped on it, no problem. So, but, this was a drug that went through human trials. It took years to get through the FDA. It had already been on the market for 2 years. So kind of the post-marketing information was very similar to the clinical trials at the time. So it was, at least I had some real knowledge about what I was taking, and it was being manufactured by an actual pharmaceutical company. So I felt that the risk that I was taking wasn't quite the same as everyone who's jumping on peptides. Now, with that said, I know my buddy in New York. He may not want me to mention his name. He's a young guy. He's on every peptide known to man, and he's on TRT.
Okay.
Guy looks fucking like $1 million. He's got great genetics, but he looks like $1 million. He's only like 42, I think, at this point, but he looks like he's not aging. So who knows? I mean, maybe I'm the sucker. Maybe
No,
I
it's
should have taken
true.
this 2 years ago.
I think like for me, the reason I've been kind of throwing caution to the wind with this stuff is, and this may sound kind of cavalier, and I'm not trying to make it sound that way, because of all the health issues that I've had, I no longer have any fear of death.
That makes sense. It's not cavalier.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just like, you know,
Dude, I was married.
I've faced it
I'm
so
just
many
kidding. Go ahead.
times. Huh?
I said I was married. Go ahead.
What was that? Yeah. You were married?
Yeah, it's kind of a
Oh,
joke,
yeah.
but yeah.
No, it's true. It's like once you faced it so many times, you say, okay, it wasn't my time, and whenever it's my time, and you know, God wants to take me out of this world, then that'll be the time. You know, it's like when you hear about a plane falling out of the sky and everyone dies, but like a small baby. I think all of our time is numbered in a sense, and you know, it's like I could walk down the street and get hit by a car. You always talk about that.
Look,
Like,
that's
none of our
what happened to
days
my
are
brother.
promised.
You know, I mean, it was
Really?
it was just my brother's birthday the other day, and you know, he would have been 65 years old. He was killed 20 years ago, and it
Really?
was, yeah. I don't talk about it much, but it was pretty heavy. And I actually did a radio show in D.C. where he was killed called Highway Justice, trying to essentially do the. I was investigating the investigation of my brother's death because there's a lot of shit going on with the cops, and it was a difficult time. I was on the air for about 6 months.
So wait,
during
he
that.
got hit by a car. He got hit by a car?
Yeah, he was running on the side of the road. Now I probably would have advised him not to do that, but it was a huge area, biking area, and whatever, and he was running on the side there, and it was a distracted driver, someone who was actually they couldn't prove it, but I'm pretty sure they had to be texting or something because
Wow.
this person, she had to drive pretty far over the line in order to hit my brother.
Did she go to jail?
No. The reason I did that show is because the first person on the scene was her ex-boyfriend, who was a cop. So she didn't call 911 right away. She called him.
Yeah.
And he was a local police officer. And then everything started to happen. The whole, what I considered to be kind of a cover-up. Now, I do believe it was an accident. I don't think there's any, malicious intent. But this woman walked away with not even a ticket. So I had to do what I could to make sure that my nephew would get something, at least civilly. Because I knew they weren't going to charge this person criminally. So the work that I did helped him secure a pretty good, amount of money civilly.
Right.
So.
Well, I'm glad at least you took care of it. That I know it doesn't bring your brother back, but at least his son was taken care of in some way.
To some degree, not completely, but there was something. There was some sort of a win there. And listen, to this day, I can't. It's not that I have a major. Listen, it was a total accident. I almost feel sorry for the girl who had to be involved in it. But in life, you have to do the right thing. Even if she admitted that it was she was distracted, she would not have gone to jail.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think so?
100%. She was not under the influence. She was not intoxicated.
Are you saying if somebody does something like that, and they're texting and driving, that they probably wouldn't go to jail?
Back then, at least in the state of Maryland and in that particular county, there were no laws for that. And no, she would not have been gone to jail. She would have probably gotten a couple of points on her license, which didn't happen either. And she would have gotten citations, which that didn't even happen. So that was always crazy about the whole thing. Renee, one day maybe I'll do a show on it. Talk about it. I guess when I think about my life, I've been through a lot of shit. Part of me is like, when it was going to be my brother's 65th birthday, I'm thinking, well, did you get out at the right time, Al? He didn't know what hit him.
Right.
He didn't know what happened.
Right. Well, you know what they say, growing old isn't for the weak. I mean,
He was only 45. He was young, strong, good-looking dude, had a kid and a wife and all that stuff, which is fucked up. But maybe he, avoided a lot of other shit. I don't know.
well, it was his time. Whenever that is, it appears that all of our days seem to be kind of numbered in a sense.
But again, always an uplifting
there's
conversation,
so
Rez.
I'm glad to bring bring you joy.
Yeah. Well, you know what you do.
Yeah.
You're a good person to have on the show, and you have a lot of interesting insight, and you have been through a lot in your life. So I understand. And guys, we'll take your call in a second. I do understand your point of view. At your stage in life, you're like, well, what the fuck is the difference? I've dodged death 100 times.
Absolute.
Why not try something that could give me a better quality of life? I understand that.
Pretty much.
And I'm thinking the same way with my look. I enjoy working out. The fact that I can't play ball right now, but even more importantly, the fact that I can't train, that helps me mentally more than anything else. So part of me is like, you know what? I'm probably willing to take a chance. Now I won't take TRT because I don't want to lose my hair, but the peptides, as far as healing, and the slim chance that it may increase the chance of tumor growth, I may have to take that chance. We'll see.
There's a train of thought that some doctors think that too low of testosterone can also thin the hair.
Yeah, there is. I happen to have pretty high testosterone for anybody, but especially for a guy my age. So, like I said, I still, for some reason, I still wake up full kickstands, and if I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, there's you can see stuff's going on, and I don't know if it's staying thin. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's partly genetic or the fact that I have the mind of a 12-year-old boy. I don't know.
Well, I'm on TRT, and I got my levels checked 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to admit I'm at 430, which I think is kind of low.
It's still,
I don't know if it's pretty low, isn't it?
It all depends on your androgen receptors, how your body is, responds to the amount of testosterone you have in your body. There's a lot of, everyone is just going with the whole low T trend. Everyone just goes by the numbers. Those numbers.
What pisses me off about that whole thing is all the marketing and all the people that say that they know something will have you believe that your levels need to be at a certain point to be considered viable, when it has nothing to do with that and everything to do with sensitivity to the androgens themselves. The levels aren't the problem; it's the sensitivity or the lack thereof.
So how do you know if you're sensitive or not sensitive?
Well, even if I clocked in at say 400, okay, if I'm waking up with erections, and if there's no other issues that as far as
No symptoms.
Gaining weight in the midsection, or depression beyond my normal depression, or that everyone has. Well, I don't know if everyone has it. And if I still have a good libido and all that stuff, if you're functioning normally, you're still strong, except for my tendons. People will be like, you know what? Whatever that number is not affecting you adversely. So why would you screw with it? But everyone thinks more is better. But that's not the case. Now, those aren't my numbers. I don't like to share too much. The fact that I'm sharing my major tendon issues is a big deal for me. But
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Only hair, and hair is more, and hair and money are the only things that more is better.
Yeah.
Having more hair and having more money.
That's the truth, brother. Not more women, I can tell you that. More women, more problems.
Well,
more problems.
Also, more
You have
keys.
low T.
More keys, more
Huh?
problems. More keys. I'm not a fan of having a lot of cars. I know people who do.
Huh?
I'm not a fan of having multiple homes. I know a lot of people do, and they may be of value to them. They may say it's an investment. But the truth is, they're spending so much money on it. The more keys, the more problems. That's what I found in my world.
You become
If it floats, flies, or fucks, you rent it.
you become a slave to all the stuff that you own.
Yeah.
You have more cars. You have to wash them all, service them all.
I have a
You
car.
have to have a
I
place
for some reason, I'm
to
keeping this 20-year-old Navigator, which is like in cherry condition, and it's kind of just sitting in my garage because I have to get something fixed on it. The battery's done. It died. I didn't keep it charged. And I look at it, and I'm like, this is really sad. Why am I keeping this thing? And it's like, well, it's a good car. It's a great emergency car. I could pack a lot of stuff in it. If I charge the battery and fix this one issue, it's like it looks brand new inside and out. So why not keep it? That's my thought process. But that's how people get trapped with their shit.
It's paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah, like worst case scenario, like if I have to get rid of everything, at least I have this car and I have, whatever, my sneaker collection.
For watch collection, maybe you have watches.
One watch.
Okay.
That's it. I have one really nice watch that my ex gave me. I never forget when she bought that. And guys, I'll take your call. She bought this for me. I opened it up, and she's like, "Don't you like it?" And I guess my expression was like I was in shock. I had never had someone who bought me such a nice gift.
Yeah.
I had never seen anything. And it wasn't over the top. It's just a really nice, relatively expensive watch. And I was just like, I didn't even know how to respond to it. The last gift that I got? 11th birthday, Kodak Instamatic camera. That's the last gift that I got. I mean, nice. I mean, she always got me nice things, but this was like I couldn't even believe it. I felt bad because she thought I didn't like it at first. Anyway,
What kind of watch do you have?
sharing too much. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's an expensive, nice watch, and I don't need anything more. And I keep it in good shape, and I barely wear it. I only wear it when I go out to special occasions and stuff because I have a
I've got
phone.
a Casio G-Shock.
Nice.
I like watches. I got my G-Shock on right now. It's an early model too.
I had a quick question. I know you got to take calls.
We do have calls.
I've heard you
Jesus,
guys-
come on. Go ahead.
This is a very good question, though. Okay, I've heard both of you guys mention that regardless of how good of a transplant somebody has with the best doctor regardless, both of you have the ability to look at someone's hair and tell if they've had a transplant. My question is this. What do you look for and what is the telltale sign? Number two, have you ever seen somebody that had one where you couldn't tell at all?
I think we were actually talking about a guy, Brian Johnson, earlier in the program.
Brian
And
Johnson,
Joe
yeah.
is convinced that he
That's
had
why
a
I
hair
know.
transplant, and I'm convinced that he has not had a hair transplant. So I would say that either Joe's expertise are slipping or it's just age.
Or Spencer doesn't know as much as he thinks he does.
That's possible. And I would be the first to admit it, to be honest with you. Joe, on the other hand, will give you every excuse in the book before he says he's wrong.
Actually, I don't know for sure. It's just I suspect he has. Because again, I haven't paid that much attention to it. I just remember the first instinctual reaction I had to seeing him after seeing him on learning who he was. It was before I even realized what I was looking at. It jumped out at me as something's off, something's going on here, and I didn't trust it. And then it's like, oh yeah, and I brought my hair back, but it's like bullshit. I was like, okay. Yeah, the BS meter is going to 11 on this. There's something going on that's not adding up. Maybe he hasn't, but my gut says he has.
It's not saying that he wouldn't. He would.
I don't remember any details that I can point to say, well, this is why. Because again, I haven't paid that much attention. It's just the general looks like something happened. So, but to answer your initial question,
Yeah. What is it that you guys see?
well, I mean, for me, it's always in the balance of, like, if we're talking about the hairline or the frontal scalp, it's always in the balance of the shape, direction, and proportions compared to, temple points, or in relation to the the eyebrows and the angle of how the hair exits the scalp, the direction that it's flowing in. I mean, there's a lot of things that I pick up on, and usually it has to do with the naturalness of the hairs as they exit the scalp, and it is on a micro level. Like it's something that I pick up on. If the image is blurry, if it's not a high resolution, I can still pick it up. Just usually, not every time. And this has nothing to do with seeing the donor area, whether it's thinned out or if there's some sort of change in flow from a strip surgery or anything. It's strictly with how the hair itself is growing. If it's the crown or the mid scalp, it's a lot more difficult to tell, simply because of the camouflage effect going on. But the hairline, and when I say the hairline, I mean the entire hairline, including the sides, the temple points, temples, whole 9 yards. It's usually a balance thing, and then ahead of that, it's the way that the hairs exit the scalp. That's the toughest thing to get right. And then the second most difficult thing to get right is the overall shape and proportions of how things are done. Those are what give it away for me.
Do you want my answer?
Well, he asked, yeah.
Well, I would say everything Joe said, I agree with. And what's interesting is people don't understand that a lot of the hair that's transplanted, even when you're using singles, that density from a single graft, or the graft diameter at the exit point, is usually slightly larger. No matter how much they try to trim those down, they can cut the doubles into singles and triples into singles.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to really find hair that truly matches what a native hairline is going to go, how the hair is going to exit from the scalp in a natural hairline. It happens. It's less obvious in someone who has lighter hair, blonde hair, light scalp, things of that nature. But in general, especially with dark hair, you always see that slight exclamation point in the best hairlines. So if you look at Elon Musk, you look at him very closely, and you examine that hairline. It's starting to thin a little bit now, but he had all that hair placed, and it was beautiful. The angles are beautiful. The shape of the hairline was beautiful. The way that it met the temple peaks, which I think were mostly natural on him. I think he has unusual sides. I could see it from a mile away. But no one else can. So I'm the one who's always Norwood clocking and hair transplant. I mean, Joe can. But I'm the one who is always Norwood clocking and hair transplant clocking. And I try not to say, listen, when I was with Common Law, and actually recently with this other girl I was hanging out with, I'd point shit out. And they'd be like, really? Now, the obvious ones they can see.
Yeah.
So even in the best hands, I normally can see it as soon as someone walks into a room. And that's fucked up, but it's just the reality. And as far as hair pieces are concerned, I have this one story where...
That's the fun one.
I had this one story where there's a 2-level apartment, and we walked into this apartment. This was with Common Law as well. And we were meeting these people for the first time, and somebody said, "Oh, that's my fiance," and pointed up the stairs. And this guy is not even facing me. And I'm just like...
The guy with the wig?
Yeah. It was like, I wanted to say that. But I'm just like, and that's not always the case. But in the more obvious ones, I can see it from behind. And when I say more obvious to me. So it kind of sucks being me.
Do you think they'll ever be able to fix that with, evolution of transplants, or that's just That's just how it is. Will they ever be able to get them completely undetectable, even to somebody
Yeah.
who's?
I think so.
I guess if they do cloning and then they can maybe somehow inject a stem cell or something in the scalp to where it grows directly from the scalp. I don't even know if that's possible.
I kind of think by the time all that stuff is even possible, that they're going to have more effective cellular treatments where transplantation may not even be involved.
You mean a topical?
No, it could be injectable, but it's not going to be where you're going to have to actually duplicate hair transplants for transplantation. That's my thought process.
And it appears that PP405 from some initial...
Guys, hold on. Rez will not get off this fucking phone, so
Anyway.
hold on. Go ahead.
You got to go.
No, it's okay. What were you going to say about...
No,
What were your last thought?
PP405, according to the Hair Cafe guy, all the trials, all the numbers appear to be inflated and all bullshit. So I don't know if you've heard anything about that. I hope it's not true, but...
This is what I have seen that's come across my desk, and I do believe that this is a kind of a novel application that could really come to fruition. I do not personally believe it's going to be as impactful as people think as far as the end of hair loss.
No.
I do think that this is going to be a new mechanism that's going to potentially give people the opportunity to thicken their existing hair, reverse the miniaturization process, potentially grow some new hair where there may not have been a real chance to resuscitate that hair. It's still going to be a problem, and I think that in the end, hormones, still going to be battling your hormones. So it's not going to be what people think it is. All the hype online, I think, is really, it's sad. It's just the reality. Just because something was presented at the American Academy of Dermatology, it doesn't mean shit. You know how much bullshit has been presented at the American Academy of Dermatology meetings?
Histogen?
Everything.
I remember histogen.
Do you know how much
That's
shit that never came to fruition? What do you think these meetings are? It's not just about sharing science. They have to create some excitement so that people attend and pay the money to attend.
Mm-hmm.
All of it's bullshit. It's all fucking marketing. All these conferences, all these meetings. I have to laugh when people say, well, this is presented here or this was in this paper. God, people are so fucking naive. We are made to believe that all of this stuff that we read in studies or on aggregators like NIH or NCIB or whatever is the gospel. Almost everything published today will be disproven within 10 years or found to be bullshit. Good night.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Hey,
Good talking to you.
Get on that BPC.
See you, Rez.
Good luck with the peptides.
I'm really
See you, Joe.
Rez, I'm really thinking about it. I'll let people know. I have some issues, though, that I'm concerned about that I've had in the past that I don't want to have resurface. But, I want to be able to train as really part of my enjoyment in life. And, I also just want to be. I don't want to have to sit back and be ridden for the rest of my life either. I like to do some of the work.
Spencer, do not fear the Reaper. You put fear in the Reaper.
I'm not concerned about dying. I don't want to suffer. Dying is easy.
There's a big difference.
Yeah. All right, brother. Take care. Good talking to you.
Rez, thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later, Joe.
Yeah, the phone number goes to voicemail when we're busy because I've never fixed that. It's been 9 years, actually. I haven't fixed that, which is hilarious when I think about it.
That's pretty funny.
Let's see who this is. We do have a line open if you want to call in. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from?
David from Oregon.
David from Oregon.
Hey,
What's
David.
happening?
You sound so happy.
I literally fucking dozed off. And Spencer's voice is kind of soothing, and I'm like dozed off, and that last call was going on, and I'm hearing about car wrecks and my time to go and death and kickstands in the middle of the night.
Well, listen,
And then
I hope I was able to give you good dreams.
All the fun stuff guys want to listen to on the radio or on a podcast.
Yeah, it was funny, man. Yeah, you kind of actually answered a little bit of what I was going to ask. I have some relatives that do TRT, and they swear by it and all this. And I was just wondering if being on finasteride, pro-scar like I am, how protective that would be. I'm a little afraid to chance losing gains in my, lose my hair.
How old are you?
I just turned 65.
59 or 69?
55.
65.
55. Well, happy birthday.
No, 65.
65.
65. Oh, God,
well,
he's older than you, Spencer.
Relatively happy birthday.
Yeah, I don't celebrate birthdays. I celebrate them with dread. Really, I don't really.
Another uplifting phone call.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think again, it's all a balance, man. I mean, my concern about getting on TRT is, even though I've been on finasteride for 30 years, am I maintaining what I'm maintaining because of a combination of finasteride and the fact that my testosterone may be slightly lower, not producing as much DHT? I mean, I do have retrograde alopecia now, which my barber just fucked me up big time. I don't want to talk about it. He's dead to me, by the way, Joe.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah. So I am not 100% convinced that I'll never give it a shot, but I'm holding off because of my hair. And I just don't know if that's a smart move for me. Would I be healing and feeling better if I was on TRT and these peptides and all that stuff? Maybe. But, would I have to shave my head? I don't know.
Yeah, it's risky. They swear by it, these relatives I have. And I haven't even had my testosterone level checked yet, but I do some of the symptoms of low testosterone. I believe I have them, but they're sort of generalized type of symptoms anyway.
Look, poor Joe's falling asleep on camera. You don't think he's got low T?
Oh, you were talking about a texter killing your brother?
Yes.
Is that what you said when I was half asleep?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually got rear-ended by a texter. I passed this guy. I was on a dark four-lane road, and I passed him. I drove right by him. He was a young kid, and he's texting. I go, looked over at him and go, "You, what an idiot!" And I just kind of went by him. And guess what happened 1 minute later?
He showed you, didn't he?
Yeah. There was a bucket blowing across the road, and I had to slow way down for it. And he rear-ended me big time.
Wow.
I mean, just my car sailed about 100 feet, and so that's my story.
It's interesting. Every time I kind of look over, if I'm at a red light or whatever here in Los Angeles, someone's at least looking at their phone at the red light. Yeah. And I'm just like, what a fucking world. It's so fucking scary out there.
Yeah. I mean, I do it a little bit, but I always have it. I got a visor, a phone supporter in my vent, and I do Google Maps all the time. And I always try to keep my eyes level with the windshield whenever I'm looking at the phone. But, yeah, I see that all the time.
Listen, I've done it, and I really try not to do it now. And when I'm driving, I will make sure that it's do not disturb. The only thing that I will do is, like, even though I should do it in my car, here's the problem. My car has a touch screen for all of the, for everything. And even looking at the touch screen and changing your music on the touch screen, you're taking your eye off the fucking ball. So that's kind of fucked up. It's a little easier for me if I need to change my music just to switch it on my phone than even hit that touch screen, which, like, who is the genius that invented that? It looks great, though, in the car because my entire car is like this touch screen, my entire dashboard. But, yeah, I'm very aware of my surroundings, and I really try. I mean, it's so rare that I actually am looking at my phone now.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I remember in my 20s, I used to drink. It was common to have a beer in your car drinking. A lot of my friends. And
well, yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. And I had one of these Mickey's beers. They have a big mouth. Yeah, I don't know if you remember those a long time ago.
I do.
Yeah, and I had one between my legs, and I'm drinking, and I never got really drunk or anything, but right after I took a swig and bent down to put it between my legs where I had it, an older lady just got done passing me in front of the jaywalk, and I almost nailed her.
Yeah, dude, I can't even imagine. I mean, drinking and driving was a rite of passage when we were young, and you could not. Yeah. I mean, basically, everyone on a Friday night or Saturday, if they were in a car, they were drunk or drinking or buzzed. Everyone was buzzed driving. It didn't matter where you were, who you were. It sucks. It's crazy. And I think about it, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, really, Stupid. Did I dodge a bullet in anybody around me?
Up until the 1970s, 3 out of 5 doctors recommended drinking while driving.
That's true.
Well, my parents did it. I remember they didn't go out on Friday and Saturday, and my mom was drinking in the back.
Are you kidding me? I remember driving in the Catskills, and my mother would open up my dad's Schlitz, and he put it between his legs, and there were kids in the car.
Schlitz.
You know?
That was a good beer.
Doris hand me a beer. I'll never forget that. And she'd be there, just opening it up. My dad had this little cooler.
Well,
it's a true story.
Like smoking pot, I mean, I don't do it hardly. When I really retire, I'm going to take it back up again. But I used to smoke it all the time. But I'm a better driver when I just have a couple of hits of pot. I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but I'm actually more mellow.
That's what everyone
10
says.
times more mellow. And,
you're mellow, but you're not a better driver. Your mind is better. You think you're a better driver.
Yeah. Well, your reaction time might be suffering, but half my battle with driving is being a little anxious and road ragey a little sometimes, and the marijuana. I used to do it like that. I'm not suggesting people do it. I got one last question. I'll let you go, and I got to go do something here. Have you guys ever? It has little to do with hair loss, but have you ever heard of methylene blue?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you guys ever tried that?
No.
I've been doing it has nothing to do with hair loss, but I had trouble sleeping. I had this tinnitus incident that happened a year and a half ago, and I had real bad sleep trouble. And I just recently been taking this for about a month. It's I swear by it now.
Really?
I don't know. Just Google it. If you ever have trouble with depression or anything, or not sleeping, man, it's I just trying to.
The only time I'm really depressed is when I'm doing this show.
Sorry, man.
I've been reading. I was reading about methylene blue. There's some interesting research with it, but I kind of like I used to have. Well, I still do sometimes have a hard time sleeping for various reasons, and I got into magnesium. Was it magnesium glycinate?
Glycinate.
Yeah, glycinate. I take one in the morning at night every day, and that's really changed things for me. That's my miracle solution for my sleeping issues.
You want to fix your sleeping? Stop drinking.
I already did.
Completely. Not like I'm going to have a weekend or a glass of wine at dinner. When's the last time you had a drink?
I don't do any of that. 3 weeks ago?
Your body's still not reset. It's going to take a while. But once you keep the alcohol at bay for several months, you're going to notice your sleep is just so much better, man.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm happy with the magnesium glycinate right now, so that's I'm in a happy place for that. So what's that?
I think I've heard of that stuff when I was looking for all this crap to help me sleep for the past year and a half. I ran across that. I Googled it and I ran across it. I don't know if I don't know if I tried it, but I did hot baths and Epsom salts. That has magnesium in it too, right? I think you inhale it when you put it in a bath.
See, I used to love benzos to get to sleep, but those will fuck you up. But there's nothing like. I got to tell you, there's nothing like this. This was the greatest cocktail. You have 2 Manhattans. You go out, have a couple of Manhattans. They'll get you fucked up. Go out and you buy a pack of American Spirits, and you drop 2 milligrams of Klonopin. That is the best night ever. But those days are over.
I know half that shit is. You just said.
Yeah. Well, you don't want it. But yeah,
I was going to say, be grateful.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
The fact that I'm alive.
I'll let you go. I got to run and do something here before the post office closes.
Okay.
And
well, have a good one, man. Good luck.
Nice to hear.
Nice to hear from you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Next day.
Bye.
2 milligrams of Klonopin, especially if you're not using it on a regular basis, you're just like, whatever, dude. No, you're just like, you want to fight? Don't fight with somebody else. I'm totally relaxed at this point.
Yeah, done. That's cool.
I'm going to let you talk.
I'm happy with my magnesium glycinate. A friend of mine was telling me about it, and I decided to add it to my routine. And it took a couple of days for it to make a change, but
I was in no way trying to diminish your success on magnesium glycinate. I was just trying to help you with the drinking. So I know there's a potential. I'm not saying it's a problem. Joe.
I'll say it was a problem. I did have I did have an issue, but the thing is when I go through these stages where it's like, okay, I don't want to touch any alcohol, and it's fine. After the first 2 days, it's like it doesn't even cross my mind to have a drink or to like. There's not even any alcohol in the house right now because I have no interest in it. So that's usually the history with this. It's like, you go through time. It's like, okay, yeah, I kind of want to cut back on this. It's a bit too much, or you just want to feel healthier. And after the first day or two, no issue whatsoever. I don't even think about it.
You don't want to end up aging like our friend in Atlanta. That's all I'm saying. So that's why
this is true.
You gotta kick that. The worst thing we can do as older gentlemen is drink booze.
Yes.
I think it's worse than cigarettes. If you, not that someone should smoke every day, but in general, if someone was like, I have a friend who doesn't really drink, but he smokes like 2 or 3 cigarettes a day. For some reason, he's able to do that. And I'm not saying that he's not going to get sick at some point. He probably won't. But the guy looks like he's healthy as a horse. And I believe it's because he stopped drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, like your liver has to go through a period of regeneration after you stop, because it's deteriorated, to whatever degree over the number of years that people are drinking. It takes time for that to reverse, because the liver is a regenerative tissue. If it's not too much, if it's not scarred over, then you're fucked. But
how much you have to drink for it to have cirrhosis? You got to drink a lot. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it depends on the person.
God, I've dodged so many bullets, man.
Yeah.
I've dodged so many bullets in my life.
I can't even. Yeah, I've dodged several myself. But no, I mean, it's back to the sleep thing. I was having problems waking up in the middle of the night, not even to piss, just waking up and not being able to sleep, feeling warm or whatever. Now I don't have that problem. It's good. The only thing that gets me up is my dog, because she has to go out, which is annoying. It's rare, but yeah, that's the only thing that gets me up.
I used to have to get up when I had Hunter, our German Shepherd. Every night, man. Every night, I'd have to get up at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's like a kid.
Let the dog out.
Yeah, it's like a toddler.
And Kamala would make believe she's sleeping. Just kidding.
Of course.
She would take care of it. She basically took care of that animal better than anybody, man. She was great. I didn't.
Thankfully, like right now, the routine is take her out at 10 o'clock for final relief, and she's fine till the morning. It's rare that she gets me up in the middle of the night. Really rare.
I've chosen not to have any, even though I wouldn't mind a pet at this point, and I've had pets basically most of my adult life. I decided, you know what? There's a certain amount of freedom not to have any pets.
Of course.
that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So I got a fuzzy pillow, put on my lap, and I pet that while I'm watching television. That's all I do. And I'm gonna get a robot dog.
There you go. Ibo.
I'm gonna get a robot dog. Maybe by the time in a couple of years they're gonna look like real dogs, but no allergies.
My brother has 2 German Shepherds, and boy, the landmines they leave.
Yeah, I had a huge German Shepherd who's like 100-something pounds. Big boy. Actually, when Tillman and Specs came over, didn't expect them to actually sleep there, but that ended up happening.
Yeah, that wasn't the plan.
Yeah.
Speaking of alcohol.
Yeah, we decided, you know what? Let's bring the dog over to the in-laws because just in case. I didn't want any lawsuits in my hands.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably a good move.
Well, I mean, we were drinking pretty heavily. We're hanging out playing pool. We were putting on the putting green and
yes, we were
talking about taking over the world. It was great.
Yeah, good stuff. Good times. How's that working out for you?
We really got fucking loaded that night, though, man. Well, I mean, I was loaded, I'm sure, but the fact that I have full memory of everything and you guys don't makes me think that maybe I was a little less loaded. Now, there's a couple of times that I've gotten loaded.
I remember most of it.
Loaded to the point where I was put in bed, at least here, a couple of times. Yeah. But I had to put you guys to bed that night.
Aw. That's so sweet, too.
All right, so yeah, so thanks for the shitty show, guys. I appreciate it. Now, for the guys that took time to call in.
No, we appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Nice talking to you guys. I know that we kind of got off the whole hair loss thing and just talked about life, but that happens sometimes. We have a call on the line if you want to take it, Joe.
Let's do it.
Okay, because you look a little hangry. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Kenny from Virginia.
Kenny, what's happening,
Hey,
brother?
Kenny. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you? Good.
All right, good.
I just called in a little late, but I'm glad I was able to get a hold of you guys.
Well, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm glad you did too. What's going on?
No, nothing much. I was listening to the conversation about having a pet, and that is a definite hard thing to have, especially if you travel and stuff. That's something that my girlfriend and I were once considering. We were considering getting a cat at some point, but we like to travel and go overseas and stuff. So, it'd be tough to do that.
Well, cat's the easiest if you're gonna get any animal, cat, because you can leave a cat alone for days.
Yeah,
and just put food and water down everywhere, and
make sure you got a good litter box, and you're good to go.
Yeah,
go have fun.
Right.
But Kenny, let's be honest. Let's be honest, Kenny. You're saying that to your girlfriend so you don't have to go on trips with her, right?
Oh no! No, I love.
But we can't leave the cat. No, yeah, I get it.
Right. No, it's. But yeah, no, it's definitely a mutual thing, though. I think we do enjoy traveling and everything like that. It's just it would be tough to do, and especially like a lot of these pet hotels. I don't know. To me, they're such a ripoff. It's like $1,200 a week. Sometimes it's crazy. It's nuts.
Well, they're meeting the niche of a certain need, and yeah, it's the cost of having pets, And if you're gonna pay for something like that, the way I look at it, I want to pay the premium to help ensure it doesn't get. It's obviously not a guarantee, but for proper care, something that I can research, something that I can look at reviews, something I can maybe be referred to by someone that's been there already, not some Craigslist listing. We'll watch your pet type of thing, and I wouldn't even trust my pet with my best friend because they don't have pets and they don't understand what's involved. So I'm willing to pay for something like that. And the thing is, like the last trip my wife and I went on, we actually took our dog with us for the first time, second time we took our dog with us, and it was fine. It actually worked out well. The resort was really accommodating for our dog. Brought her a special breakfast like I make her every day. Soft boiled eggs, mixed up in milk. That's what I feed my dog for breakfast, and they took care of it. They do that for me every day. It was nice, actually. It did a good job.
Wow.
That's a nice little
So you
story,
looked that up
Joseph.
ahead?
Thank you. Well, I got to contribute somehow. What's that, Kenny?
No. I just found that interesting that because I guess you looked that up ahead of time with the resort, right? That they actually allow pets on. I think that's something.
Of course.
Resorts are kind of doing.
Yeah, you have to. You have to make sure that they're pet friendly, or else, especially if it's international, it's a little unsettling if they're like, no, senor, no perros. So yeah, you got to look that up, and some of them do have special amenities for pets. Like they'll have an area that you can take them so they can relieve themselves. That's on the property. They got areas that they'll also have areas that are designated no go for pets. You can't bring your dogs, like on the beach, stuff like that.
Okay.
Parts of the beach, the ones that are more frequented by their patrons because they don't want to have any doo-doo issues. But it was good. It's good. We had a good time.
Yeah, like with me, I grew up with dogs and cats, both. So, I definitely know what it's like to have a cat, and a dog as well. But no, I mean, everything's so expensive today too. I don't know if you guys realize, but I used to live in New York. I've called the show before, and I recently moved to Virginia just because New York has just gotten so expensive. It's just nuts. Yeah, it's just, I don't know how people could afford to live anymore. It's just crazy. But,
Dude, I wouldn't live in New York or Virginia at this point. The fact I'm still living in Los Angeles is insane when I think about it. And Virginia's going to be a lot cheaper, but you're still dealing with some insanity in your state. But,
what part of Virginia are you in?
We're starting to. Oh, I'm in Northern Virginia. So,
DC.
I'm pretty much close to DC. I'm kind of in between jobs right now. I'm a project manager. So I left my previous job in New York and trying to find something here. I've had a few interviews and stuff, but it's different here. But I'm going to be 35 in August.
OnlyFans, brother.
No.
Big money be made there.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
dude, if I was 35 years old, you think I'd be doing this shit? Forget about it.
No, I think usually women make more money doing that. I don't think guys are really on that, are they? I mean, I don't know.
You'd be surprised, man. I have the hands and the feet that, I mean, I'd make bank if I really tried.
Really? That's a thing?
I'm just kidding.
I guess.
Hands and feet?
I don't know if I'm happy with this conversation's direction.
Dude, listen. Everyone's got to make a dollar.
So Kenny, you ever hear of Florida? That might be a good place to go.
Yes, I have.
Lots of activity down there.
Well, Florida has issues too. My uncle lives in Florida, and he
not like Virginia.
He retired.
Not like
but I'm
Virginia.
saying the problems that they have is like hurricanes and house insurance issues. So he bought a house years ago and has had to change insurances 6 times within a 4-year period just because, they get so many hurricanes there and people file so many claims. It's just, it's a lot. So, but what I'm curious though, what issues have you heard about Virginia? Because we did look it up a little bit, but actually I'm kind of surprised that you said there are problems in Virginia.
Well, with not Virginia at large, like the entire state. It depends on where you are, but I know that the DC area itself is exceedingly expensive as well. Maybe not like New York, but it's the DC area itself is some of the most expensive real estate in the country. Not to mention you have all the policies that are being put in place. I'm shocked at the direction that it took after Glenn Youngkin or whatever his name was.
Oh yeah, Youngkin, yeah.
Youngkin, yeah. I'm shocked at the direction it went in after he was governor, because I don't pretend to be an expert, but I thought he was doing a good job, and the pendulum swung far to the other side. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's a place to look out for the future, as meaning not to go.
Right.
And it's not far behind New York, in that, in that type of direction. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful state. Like, I'm from that area. I'm from East Tennessee area. So Southwest Virginia was
Oh, wow.
like half an hour away from me. So I know the area well.
Like I used to live
beautiful.
I used to live in Bethesda for a short period of time, and my brother and his family were, and his family's still there, in Rockville, North Rockville,
Okay.
Maryland.
Oh yeah, I was just near there the other day.
Yeah.
Took a trip over there. Yeah.
So I mean, they're nice areas, but it's just like everything's screwed up, brother. That's all. I don't like to talk about politics or what's happening in our country, or what I want to do.
Yeah.
I just want to keep building walls for myself.
I just want to keep maintaining and building more personal barriers.
Yeah, more personal barriers, because this world is going to hell in a handbasket, man.
So Kenny, do you have any hair
Yeah.
questions? Like how's your hair?
Yeah, no, I mean, knock on wood, my hair is good,
Okay.
Like I said, I've been a long time caller. I probably started calling at like 21 roughly. So,
Okay, yeah.
well over a decade.
Yeah.
I started, on Papilla name brand, since I was 23 roughly. So maybe 24. And, I've been on it now for, again, a little over a decade as well. And, knock on wood, no issues. But yeah, I recently got a haircut, and I don't know, the barber didn't do a great job. He did an okay job, but that's something I'm going to have to really look up, because now I'm in a new state. I got to get a new barber and everything like that. So, but yeah, I just, I like calling in every once in a while just to hear new stuff that's happening. And because I saw the title and it was saying something about a phase 3 trial of something, which,
Clascoterone.
I'm always trying to be optimistic, hoping that something new comes along, because, obviously we've all been dealing with this for a long time. And, obviously we just want something else just to assist with prolonging this issue,
Look, I may
This-
start
this
selling American Hair Loss Association branded razors and just call it a day.
That's it, right?
That's
I mean,
the reality. I'm just kidding. Listen, my hope is
Yeah.
that I am just a bitter old fuck at this point with this hair loss stuff, and that we are going to come to some point where we have much more effective treatments. I think that's a possibility. As far as a cure, is it going to happen in our lifetime? Maybe. With AI, we don't know. Gene editing, all that stuff. We might be able to turn around a lot of stuff. My hope is that what's being talked about may be correct, where some of these experts are claiming that if we can live, at least stay alive and healthy for the next 5 years, that we may be able to extend that lifespan and all the other issues that we're all dealing with, health-wise, hair-wise, dermatological-wise, all that stuff, and really improve our lives. That's my hope. So who knows?
yeah, no, I mean, that sounds great. I think, because like I said, for me, I've been fortunate enough. I've been able to keep most of my hair. And like I said, if I could just keep what I have until I'm 70 or something, just I just want to keep, because, people don't realize it, with hair, it does affect your confidence and everything, especially somebody like me who goes on interviews and stuff like that.
We all use the interviews and all that stuff as excuses. It's everyday life. It's going to the goddamn store. It's living your life, picking up your mail, just feeling comfortable in your own skin. I still deal with it. Like, I have the retrograde alopecia now that's creeping up, and I just got a haircut, and he fucked up the back, and I'm just I was enraged over my hair,
Okay.
And I'm going to be 61 years old. So my whole thought was Jesus, if I can keep it till I'm 50, man, I'm going to be so lucky. And I was very lucky. And then made it to 60 with the sculpture, but it's slowly diminishing. All the cracks are starting to show. And then I'm like, oh, can I make it to 65 or maybe 70? that'd be incredible. So
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? My hope is that, this AI thing, I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere. We knew it was happening, but we didn't realize that it was going to be developed and it was going to grow so quickly. And seeing what I'm seeing now, and even in my own work, it's amazing. It really is. So will there be more effective treatments and cures to every malady that we suffer as humans? I think so. And my hope is that there are people who are really concentrating on hair loss. And also there's also people who, experts and scientists and universities that are starting to look more at the drugs and the treatments that we already have for different diseases, plugging it into AI and seeing if there's maybe something that's already on the market that can be kind of combined or compounded that can treat different issues. And they're starting to find that certain drugs are doing certain things that they had no idea were possible before. So who knows? Maybe there's a drug out there on the market that we don't even realize that could help us with our hair loss.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that always interested me is like different drugs that people just, it helps treat one thing and then somebody takes it for something else and then it ends up treating another issue that they had,
Well,
So
there's two drugs out there that I'm not even going to name
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want Joe to have a problem, on his YouTube. But now they're finding that these two combined medications may actually be incredibly beneficial for cancer patients and help them to avoid, chemotherapy and radiation and all that stuff. I mean, and these are drugs that have been in the market for years, decades. Well, decades at this point. So who knows? I do think we live in incredibly exciting but also very frightening times.
Isn't one a dewormer?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
knew that.
Oh, what was that, Joe? I'm sorry, I missed that. That was the name of the drug?
No, it was not the name of the drug because of I don't get any shadow strikes, but it's known as a dewormer for both humans and equines.
I see.
I won't go any further than that.
Yeah.
It was quite popular.
Being
discussed a few
that's
years
horses
ago.
to you and me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, I've been happy with Propecia, and a couple, probably a few years ago, I thought I was maybe having a little bit of a shed, and I was considering going on Avodart, and I had a dermatologist that was willing to prescribe it to me, and I actually thought about it, and I thought, do I really want to get on this? And I just thought,
how long were you experiencing a shed?
It was probably, I did have a little bit of a stressful event at that time. So it was probably maybe a month or so, roughly, but it wasn't. Yeah.
I asked because I was just thinking about how there's, far too many people will switch medications at the drop of a hat at the first signs of trouble instead of pushing through to see what's really going on, to see if it's temporary. I mean, all shedding's temporary, more or less, but it's, I see too many people doing that. It's like, oop, I'm shedding. Better switch to something. So I'm glad I'm glad you held steady and didn't, because of that minor hiccup.
Yeah, and I think at the time I was just, I really had to think about it. I thought, am I really going to get on this? How am I going to react? And I just, I always get concerned with medication in general, especially doctors. I'm not questioning their ability to treat people, but I question their ability to treat people sometimes, So
you should.
I do my own due diligence on stuff. Yeah,
you should question their ability to treat people because you have dermatologists telling you not to take finasteride because of the high likelihood of side effects, and they're getting this from bullshit information they're not even double checking themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know that I have never been to a doctor except for once where they got whatever issue I was dealing with correct the first time?
Yeah.
Or put me on the right medication the first time. One doctor, I had this issue, a urological issue that I thought was a urological issue. I had to piss a lot, but it had nothing to do with what the other doctor thought. This doctor put me on these 2 different medications, the first urologist. And
Antibiotics?
They were screwing me up. Not antibiotics, but yeah. But you just threw me off. Oh, so the other doctor basically said, yeah, this is essentially like kind of a myofascial issue. And just told me to go to a certain type of physical therapy. And that hooked me up. As simple as that. Meanwhile, I was going to be put on all different types of medications, including Cialis, that is supposed to do something for this particular issue. And I'm like, not that I think there's anything wrong with taking Cialis, but, look, I'm willing to risk blindness to get a hard-on if I need to. But otherwise, I don't want to take that shit.
Yeah. That's funny.
So anyway, so my question, my thing is, I have problems with going to the doctor for me is very difficult. Knowing what I know, it makes it even more difficult. But in general, I've never had a totally smooth experience anytime I've had a significant problem. And
never listen to a doctor about nutrition. They have zero idea what they're talking about. A general physician, they're a specialist of some sort that has where nutrition is a part of their specialty. Then sure, but even then, for years, decades, for the longest time, we would listen to our doctor when it comes to nutrition and what to eat. No, do not listen to them. They have no clue. They don't study this in medical school. They know less than the average layperson that does 5 hours of research. So that's another thing not to trust when it comes to doctors.
Follow through with a hernia operation when your doctor meets you at the surgery center and he has a pack of Kent 3 100s in his scrubs. That's a true story.
Scrub up.
Yeah.
All right.
Might I ask what year this was? Or?
Yeah, it was 1987.
Oh, okay. Wow. So
I was 21 years old. I just signed up with this guy because I had a hernia. I was like, that's what do you do back then? It's like, oh, here's a general surgeon. He could fix you. Great. Not that everything went well afterward. I mean, it took me a while to heal, but whatever. But it's an interesting world we live in. And I always do find, I know Joe's got to go, I do not put doctors on pedestals. There are some excellent doctors who are really good human beings who try their best. But you have to understand a lot of this is guesswork. That's all it is. Actually, I think having an AI diagnostician is going to make things a lot smoother for humanity as well.
I agree.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah, I don't want to hold you guys up anymore, but I appreciate you taking the call.
No, it's always good talking to you, man. Good luck. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good luck in Virginia.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Enjoy Virginia.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, Rob, you're probably right. You got to leave Joe alone about the attitude. It's not his fault.
What? Oh, I'm not hangry. No, I had a fat lunch just a few hours ago. I'm good.
I think you're going to say something else. Anyway.
Hey.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It was nice to vent a little bit, have a little fun with my friend Joseph. And the guys who did call in, thank you so much. I am going to get out of here. I am starving myself. So I'm probably going to go get some food. Don't follow me. I never post where I am. You know what I used to hate about hanging out with Andrew Zarian? He would always post where he was. I'm like,
of course.
Do not do that when I'm around you.
Do it afterwards.
Yeah.
Say I was here, not I am here.
Yeah. All right, guys, until next time, be strong. God bless. And thank you so much for listening. Good night.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for any inconvenience you may have been put to prior to the program, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you could now